My wife and my best friend's wife were going on a business trip, but we found out that they were going to cheat on us with their lovers. So we planted illegal substances on them to get them arrested by the police at the airport. Be me, early 30s. Working at small company called Horizon Digital. We package and distribute DVDs and other media stuff. Have this guy working for me, Adrian Blake. Not the darkest dude I've ever met, but definitely in the top 10. He's not even that tall, maybe 5'9", but holy shit does he leave an impression. Has this permanent snarl on his face, and these weird scars with a bluish tint. Definitely not someone you want to meet in a dark alley. Lucky to have him on my side, though. I'm Lucas Bennett, by the way. Run this whole operation. Nothing fancy about what we do, actually pretty basic work. Hard to get people to do it for minimum wage, though. Found some loopholes in the laws. Lets us hire people who need the work. Mostly guys from Jamaica. Few others from Dominican Republic and Haiti. They're good workers, just need motivation sometimes. That's where Adrian comes in. Watched him for a couple weeks. Finally decided to make my move. Guy speaks perfect British English. Weird, but what do I know about accents? Offered him supervisor position. His grin when I did was fucking terrifying. Came with better pay and benefits. Other workers don't get those. Something about him seemed off. Didn't care enough to ask questions, though. Productivity went up 30% almost overnight. Company was happy. I was happy. Adrian was happy. Everything running smooth as silk. Figure we can keep going for another year and a half before getting shut down for some violation or other. My 5th operation like this in 8 years. Good money while it lasts. Not exactly a career path, though. Always stash away cash for the dry spells. Usually have another setup ready when one closes. Can't remember how I got into this business. Never was a normal 9-to-5 guy anyway. That boring shit wasn't for me. Unlike my brother Ryan, complete opposite of me. Lives for his union job at power company. Likes knowing exactly when his next check is coming. Good for him, I guess. Not my style, though. Ryan and I both married our high school sweethearts. It sounds romantic, but it's really not. He and his wife Megan had twin boys. Just turned 16. My wife Hannah and I had 2 kids. Daughter Clara just got into Stanford. Son Peter is 17. Kid's trying everything to get into military academy. Doesn't care which one. Just wants to serve. Megan works at insurance claims office. They handle stuff for like 20 small agencies in the area. Hannah never wanted to work. I'm cool with that. Figure happy home life matters more than extra cash. Life's pretty good in Riverside. Not actually called Riverside, but reminds me of this old movie I saw. Everything's perfect there, just like here. Life was good anyway. Until I decided to grab some office supplies, usually send someone else, but always looking for excuse to get out. Didn't take long. Know exactly what I need when I go shopping. Don't browse around like some people. Grab what I need and bounce. Oak Ridge Mall is this huge 2-story place. Has this open space in middle. Probably called an atrium or something. Don't really know the fancy word for it. Sitting up in food court, 2nd floor, looking down at first. That's when I see them. Hannah and Megan walking together. Guess Megan took day off work. They're doing last-minute shopping for their girls' vacation. Took forever to convince Ryan and me. Let them go to this fancy resort in Jamaica, near Ocho Rios. We weren't happy about it. Made them promise to stay at resort. No wandering around island alone. They're leaving in 2 days. About to call out to them. Something stops me. They're stopped in front of Victoria's Secret. Not normal for either of them. Sit back down, watch them go in. Getting real interesting now. Get fresh coffee. Make myself comfy in crappy plastic chair. 20 minutes later, they come out. Can't hear them, but they're giggling like teenagers. Instead of leaving, they sit on bench outside store. Take stuff from Victoria's Secret bags. Put it in Walmart bags instead. Throw Victoria's Secret bags in trash. Keep giggling as they walk away. Takes me less than a minute. Down escalator. Over to trash can. Don't even try to be subtle. Just grab the bags. Leave lid off. Kind of a dick move, but whatever. Wait till I get to car to look. They took whatever they bought, but left receipts. Each bought 2 baby doll sleepers. One receipt for $65, other for $72. Both paid cash. Hannah never uses cash. Always uses credit cards. Got my attention now. Don't want to jump to conclusions. Should give her a chance to explain. Not going to confront her, though. Just give her opening to tell me. Has to be for Jamaica trip. Trip Ryan and I aren't going on. Driving back to work. See dark clouds. Sun still shining, though. Sitting at desk. Trying to figure where I went wrong. That's when Adrian walks in. Adrian comes in looking concerned. Mr. Bennett, something seems wrong. Is it something I should know about? No, Mr. Blake. Nothing wrong with work or floor. Everything's fine there. Motion him to sit. He's smiling but looks anxious. Sit in silence for a bit. Where in Jamaica are you from, Mr. Blake? From Kingston, but spent most time in Ocho Rios area. Why do you ask? Pause for a moment. Rock back in chair. Got any friends in Ocho Rios? Many acquaintances, few friends. Also know some not-so-friendly people. That's why I'm here now. Reach into bottom desk drawer. Pull out bottle of Jack Daniels. 2 glasses. Not exactly clean, but usable. Adrian doesn't refuse when I push glass his way. Is it money problem? He sips and smiles. Yes, $10,000 US. Not much, but enough to make me seek safer place. Notice I'm smiling. Think he knows it's not about his situation. Feel like Mr. Bennett needs my help. Trying to figure how we can help each other. Am I right? Laugh at how he talks about me in third person. Mr. Blake, any of your friends or acquaintances, questionable characters? Now he's laughing. Of course, Mr. Bennett. All of them are, both smiling as I fill glasses again. Sit quietly for what feels like minutes. Might be less. Tomorrow, Mr. Blake. Tomorrow we help each other. He smiles, getting up. Notice gold tooth on right side. Near back, looks ominous. Family dinner that night. Claire announces she can start summer session at Stanford. If she leaves within week, Hannah, not thrilled, gets outvoted. Peter decides he wants year at Marine Military Academy in Houston before college. Previously said no because of cost. Tonight, feeling different, Hannah gives weird look when I support Peter's idea. Doesn't say anything. After kids leave table, ask about her day. Megan and I got last things for trip. Got cutest flip-flops. Decided not to take camera. Worried about losing it. Each got new swimsuits. 2-piece but modest. We're not young anymore, you know. Smile at how she's chattering. She's nervous. Always talks too much when nervous. If I let her go on, might trip herself up. Already got answer I wanted. Says nothing about Victoria's Secret. Doesn't even hint at it. Still talking. Not listening anymore. Finally realizes what she's doing. Shuts up. Too late, though. Gave it away without admitting anything. Could confront her. Wouldn't accomplish anything. More going on than fancy lingerie shopping. Hannah pretty quiet rest of evening. Can tell she's uncomfortable about talking too much. Hannah setting up DVR to record her shows. While she's gone. Meanwhile, I'm checking tuition fees and assets. Not looking good. Need at least $55,000 a year for Clara. 1 year at military school for Peter is $34,000. Decide to prepay 4 years for Clara. 1 year for Peter leaves me with less than $50,000. Can figure out Peter's college later. Kid doesn't even know where he wants to go yet. Gather all addresses I need. Prepare letters and envelopes. Tomorrow just need bank trip and some calls. Maybe rushing things. Maybe there's no problem. All I've got is mall trip and gut feeling. Hannah already in bed when I call Ryan. He always stays up for late night shows. Ryan, you still up? Yeah, brother Lucas, what's up? Show starting soon? Nope, 10 minutes. Talk fast. Ryan, don't want to upset you, but has Megan been acting weird lately? Don't mess with me, Lucas. What's going on? You know, little stuff. Just doesn't seem right. You mean like those kitchen parties and cooking demos? Maybe why are they weird? Megan and Hannah started going regular, plus book clubs and card games. Yeah, so what? Megan doesn't read much. Hates cards. Never buys anything at those parties. Did you say anything? Hell no. Didn't want to risk ruining my marriage. What do you mean? If I accuse her of something and I'm wrong, life would be living hell. Not saying anything until I have more proof. Did she show what she bought shopping today? Yeah, swimsuit, sandals, floppy hat. Why? Awkward silence. Finally break it. Ryan, that guy from high school, still working HR at Continental Claims. Yeah, I think so. Why? Can you call tomorrow? Ask if other employees taking vacations same time as Megan. Lucas, what the hell's going on? Ryan, I don't know. Just know something's not right. Hannah doesn't have many chances to meet guys. But Megan does. This Jamaica trip seems fishy. Maybe should talk to Megan. No way, Ryan. Whatever you do, don't say anything to her. Okay. I'll call. Show's starting, gotta go. Sleep on couch that night. No specific reason. Just don't feel like being in bed with Hannah. Next morning, close 2 money market accounts. Cash in 3 CDs. Call Stanford and Houston Military School. Get cashier's checks done. Take what's not for tuition in cash. Leave $1,000 in checking. Before lunch. Got Clara's 4 years paid. Year of fancy military school for Peter. Leaving post office. Get call from Ryan. Lucas, you were right. About what? All of it. Guy in HR told me. Megan's been playing around with auditor. Guy named Stephen Ward. Common knowledge at company. Don't know why I haven't heard before. Anyway, Stephen and friend Warren Nash. Taking vacation same time as Megan. Damn. Was afraid of something like that. Can you get info about these guys? Already got it. Sending company ID photos to your phone. Guy with glasses is Ward. Thanks, Ryan. Hey, bro, sorry about all this. Don't apologize to me. It's my wife who got Hannah into this. Ryan, meet me after work. Cedar Lodge Bar. Need to talk. Got it. Adrian's smiling as I walk into office. Just smile back. Say nothing as Lisa, my secretary, brings coffee. Adrian waits while I download photos from phone. 2 minutes later, he's got hard copies and photos of each man on his phone. Has this wicked little grin, sitting there waiting for what's coming. Can we get down to business, Mr. Blake? Most certainly, Mr. Bennett. Takes less than an hour to make deal. Settle on price. He's happy. I'm happy. Ryan might not be happy, though. When I tell him his share of cost, Ryan drops bomb when we meet after work. Decided he's visiting Uncle Greg in Arkansas for indefinite period. Ryan, that's drastic under circumstances. Don't you think? Been awake all night thinking. Made calls today. Verified my suspicions about Megan. It's not too drastic, Lucas. If anything, it's too late. Sorry, Ryan. Never realized I didn't know what was happening in my marriage either. What's wrong with us? Why did they do this? How come we didn't see it coming? Sit quietly eating peanuts, sipping warm beer, order a couple more cold ones, smile at my brother. How can I help, Ryan? What can I do? We're okay, Lucas. Got small trailer lined up. Boys and I gonna pack what we need. Should be in Arkansas by next day. What about your job? You love that job? Hard choice. Already called Greg. Says I'll find work easy. Won't have fancy union benefits, but boys and I will manage. Taking all savings and investments with us? What you telling Megan? Leaving note saying we went to Montana? Always talked about going there. She might buy it for a while. Oh yeah, reminds me. Lucas, you owe me $4,000. What? What the hell I owe you $4,000 for? Gotta trust me, Ryan. Money well spent. Better if you don't know more. Will I get it back? Probably not. Crap. Decide give Hannah another chance. Come clean after dinner. Results no better. Mention cell phone won't work there. Leaving it home. Tells me assume everything's okay. Unless I hear otherwise. If problems, she'll find way to let me know. Hannah spending evening packing. Decide take kids bowling. Lots of groans and eye rolling. Stop when I shake head. Draw finger across lips. We go to bowling alley. Never actually bowl. Not something I want to do. Something I have to do. Don't know anything for sure, but feel strong enough about what's happening. To take action. Explain to kids what's going on. Clara seems to understand. Peter not happy. Both excited about school stuff. Especially Peter. Had no idea I'd set everything up. Clara ready to leave ASAP. Thrilled when I say she can take Hannah's Volvo. Wasn't expecting car at all. Thought it was fair thing to do. Peter staying with my parents. Until arrangements for Houston done. Probably still here when Hannah returns. Have to wait and see if causes problems. Kids can store personal stuff at my parents. Long as necessary. Not sure what I'll be doing. Ryan and I arrive at departure terminal same time. Don't talk. Just nod from 50 feet away. Megan and Hannah laughing and giggling. Entering facility together. Remember to turn, wave and smile at us before leaving platform. Ryan and I don't smile back. Get to work next morning. Greeted by government cars. Few police units. Been through this before? Just tighten belt and walk in. Lisa waiting with smile. She's seen this before too. Work floor almost empty. Few Haitians hanging around. No Jamaicans or Dominicans anywhere. Including Adrian Blake. Lisa already called lawyers. Spend next 30 minutes talking nonsense. To government suits. Can't tell if they're local, state, or federal. Doesn't matter. Legal team shows up. Lisa and I slip away no problem. Having coffee at Starbucks when Ryan calls. Lucas, heard on radio feds hit your place. What's going on? It's okay, Ryan. Company has control. Lisa and I enjoying hot coffee right now. How about your end? Took care of things at work and bank. Boys and I packing rest today. Leaving tomorrow morning. Sounds good, brother. Need anything? We're fine, Lucas. By the way, saw a lawyer. Divorce papers started. Sorry to hear that. Think we both knew it was coming. They're serving papers day she gets back. I'll be long gone. Guess I'll end up picking them both up at airport. When they get home, just drop Megan at house. That okay? Sounds great. Guess they're there by now. All settled in rooms. Sure you don't want to tell me what's going on? No way, brother. Less you know better. Don't think anything happens until tomorrow. Think about it while cruising to Arkansas. Hang up phone. Get call from Richard Sullivan, our division chief, guy who sets up new operations. Lisa and I summoned to headquarters. In Riverside Heights, Lisa seems happy. I'm having reservations. Can't explain why. Really like the job. Make arrangements, pick up Lisa tomorrow. Head home. Clara already has car packed. Would like to go with her. She insists she's ready to handle things herself. Under circumstances, don't argue. Most are stuff in boxes, in garage for parents' place. Peter packing almost everything for storage. Military school providing what he needs. Better be for what they're charging. Dad driving him down. Visit old Air Force buddies in Dallas. Mom very clear about not wanting that trip. Proud how kids handling things. They know what they want better than I do. No call from Hannah. Didn't really expect one. She set stage carefully. Only calling if problems. Kids and I hit Italian place for pizza. Pick up bundles of boxes on way home. Get more packing tape too. 2 a.m. before got all my things sorted. Ready to move. Dad coming over morning with pickup. Probably take 3 trips at least. Keep kids busy while I'm at work. Next company operation starting in Fairview. Bigwigs disappointed when I declined this one. Recommend Lisa instead. She knows as much about running things as I do. She's ready to move up. Soon as we leave office, she's on phone to her husband. Relay good news. Almost double her salary. One happy girl. No idea what I'll be doing. Get call from Ryan on way home. Him and boys just getting to Arkansas. Actually seems happy. Feel good for him. Kids staying with mom and dad. Decide stay one more night at house. Get all loose ends tied up. Almost finished for evening. When phone rings. Ah, Mr. Bennett. Nice to see you're home. Adrian, my friend. Where the hell are you? Home, of course. Taking care of business as requested. You have international calling with cell phone. Of course. Everyone here does. Assume you have good news for me. Statement posed as question. Most certainly, sir. In fact, things went easier than anticipated. You can rest assured. All your problems taken care of. Thank you. Your true friend, Mr. Bennett. Only did what you paid me to do. Why do I feel it's more than that? Be careful, Mr. Bennett. Don't want to fall into that trap. Both laughing for no reason. Mr. Bennett, sorry to hear about trouble at work. Hope you survived repercussions. I'm fine. Also curious how you got all your people out. Have friends in the ATF, Mr. Bennett? Should have let you know, but decided against it. Able to take care of all my people. Some Haitians were a bit hard-headed. Think it all worked out well. What are your plans now? Think I'll take short break until can get few personal problems worked out, Mr. Bennett. Remember this number? Stay in touch. Think might have something you'll be interested in. That would be nice. Plan to do that. Still have 2 beers to finish before getting sleep. 3 more days until Hannah and Megan return from vacation. After first day, find myself doing redundant things. Stop see lawyer, Glenn Palmer. Find out exactly what obligations would be if file for divorce. Not enough money left for offshore account or anything. Decide not shut off utilities. Just not paying anything anymore. Credit rating taking big hit. Figure can handle it. Next morning, Clara leaves for California in her new Volvo. Summer session starts in 10 days. Mom and dad give her a little nest egg. Help get settled. Peter and dad decide take off. Same day Hannah getting back. Peter wants to avoid unpleasant confrontations. Think that's a good idea. Looks like they got few stops planned, including Memphis ribs, New Orleans seafood. Everybody except me seems happy, trying like hell not to wallow in misery. Only thing seems to help is beer. Later that night, another call from Adrian. Unfortunately on my cell phone. Mr. Bennett, anything happening at your end? What do you mean? Gentleman in question been missing 2 days now. Ladies haven't notified hotel personnel or local police. Did they possibly report to your authorities there? Not that I know of. Why haven't they contacted officials in immediate area? My people tell me they seem baffled, confused about what to do, definitely not having good time. My guess is they're afraid. If they draw attention to situation, they'll expose themselves. I don't know what proper term to use. Mr. Bennett, don't want to offend you in any way. So they're doing nothing? Appears they're constantly looking for gentlemen, hoping things will resolve themselves. I'm afraid they'll be greatly disappointed. Mr. Blake, what are you suggesting I do? As I see it, nothing you can do. Have to wait for them to decide, report it. Either here or back in States when they return. That would be awkward. What local authorities would they go to? Report crime that took place in Jamaica? Mr. Bennett, believe you've created quite dilemma. For your wife? I have feeling she wishes she'd never taken this trip. No matter what she does, she'll be in trouble. Thank you for call, Mr. Blake. Going to sleep with smile on my face tonight. We'll call if anything changes, Mr. Bennett. Morning brings a lot of anxiety. Didn't sleep as well as thought would. First thing, quick call to Ryan. See if heard anything from Megan. No contact from his wife either. Trip for him and boys went well. All comfortably settled in. Before hanging up, Ryan mentions turning off cell phone. Next 2 weeks, tells me call Greg's number. If need to get in touch, longest day of my life. Check and double check house. Make sure taking care of everything. See lawyer again? Fill out information form so can file divorce no problems. At appropriate time, give him power of attorney. Handle separation and other actions. Just on whim. Give hefty retainer for possible future repercussions. From Jamaica fiasco, little worried might have gone too far. On drive back to parents' home, realized none of concerns. Had anything to do with marriage? Sure, everything I did. Result of Hannah's infidelity. But breakup doesn't seem to bother me. Somewhere along line, resolved myself to accepting it. Bit of serenity came with realization. Knowing kids not suffering great trauma makes things a lot easier. Don't know why I don't feel worse. Feel betrayed but not humiliated. Strange because not what expected. Peter and Dad left with rising sun. Peter gets to drive first leg. Mom insists on packing lunch. Secretly think they're looking forward to week of junk food. About 6 hours to kill before plane arrives from Jamaica. Get rare one-on-one time with Mom. She's supportive, just to be safe. Doesn't say anything against Hannah. They actually got along well over years. Think Mom sad, see what happened. Don't park car and go in to help them. Simply wait for them come out of terminal with bags. Have to move car twice. Just circle and come back. Lucas, why didn't you come in to help with bags? It's a damn hassle parking car. Figured this would be easier all around. Lucas, where's Ryan? Megan noticed husband hadn't come. Felt obligated to inquire. He and boys are tied up. Told him I'd drop you off at house in a few minutes. On the way. No one talking first few miles. Silence quite obvious. Hannah seems occupied looking outside window. Megan sits in back trying to be inconspicuous. Well, are you going to tell me about trip? What you did, where you went? Did you have anything good to eat? You two awfully quiet for just returning from tropical vacation. It was long flight, Lucas. To tell truth, we're exhausted. Just one hot shower and soft bed. That's it? That's all you have to say for 5 days? I'll tell you all about it tomorrow, okay? Since she's back to looking out window, doesn't see me smiling to myself. Rest of trip home silent. Would have been easy push envelope little. But having enough fun watching them squirm, since hadn't heard anything from Adrian. Have to assume they didn't report missing men to anyone. Wonder what they did with their luggage. Interesting. Drop Megan off at their house. 10 minutes later, pull into our driveway. Hannah gives odd expression. When I remove her bags from car, set them on grass. Instead of carrying into house, as getting back into car, she finally speaks. Lucas, where are you going? Aren't you coming into house? What about my bags? Have to run right now, darling. I'll call you later. She looks so bewildered, standing there watching me drive away. Would have loved to see her face. When discovered I'd actually moved out, of course she wouldn't have lot time dwell on it. Because Megan probably on phone by now. Lucas, Hannah has called 3 times already. She keeps asking what's going on. I keep trying to avoid answering her. Lucas, you know I'm no good at that kind of stuff. I don't like what happened, but don't want to be in middle of it either. You're going to have to talk to her. Sorry, Mom. Next time she calls, I'll take it. Did she ask about kids at all? No, she was sort of babbling about empty house and problem Megan seemed to be having. I didn't try give her explanation. Just put her off. Grab beer from fridge. Get comfortable in easy chair by phone. Only 10-minute wait for next call. Lucas, what the hell is going on? Can you be a little more specific? What are you doing over at your parents' house? Where are kids? Would appreciate some answers. What the hell is wrong? Clara left for school. She wanted to get settled in so she could take few summer sessions. Everything's fine. You don't have to worry about her. Why couldn't she have waited until I got back? What was big hurry? I don't know. I guess she was anxious. All of Peter's things are gone. Where is he at? Dad and Peter are on way to Houston. He's finally getting to go to one of those military schools. He's been nagging us about, since he's going to be gone at least 5 years, he put all his stuff in storage. Like Clara did. Why didn't you discuss this with me? I am their parent too. You completely left me out of everything. That is not fair. Yeah, I know. Life sucks. What does that mean? You have no reason to get sarcastic. What the hell are you doing at your parents' house? Did you move out? Bingo. Jackpot. You figured it out. Yes, I moved out. You have house all to yourself. No quick retort. Don't know how long silence was. Seemed like minutes. Wait patiently for her next move. Megan called. She said Ryan and twins were gone. He left note saying they went to Montana. Do you know anything about that? Yeah, he told me a little bit. Hannah hasn't mentioned divorce papers yet. That Ryan said would be served on Megan. Can only assume hasn't been done yet. Lucas, what brought all this on? Tell me something. I try stay out of Ryan's life, Hannah. All I know is he mentioned a guy named Stephen Ward. Do you know him or anything about him? This time, silence a lot longer. Wait for some type of response. Sure, she's thinking. If Ryan knows about Stephen, then I must know about Warren. Lucas, I'm not feeling too good right now. I'm tired and confused. Need to get some rest and think things over. Can you come by house tomorrow? Sure, darling. I have plenty of time. Oh, by the way, think you should know. I also lost my job. I'm now officially unemployed. Few seconds later, phone goes dead. My mother not happy. In no hurry, face Hannah. Arrive at house about 10 a.m. Would have to be done eventually. Megan's there. Lucas, we know what you did. Appears Hannah would be designated spokesman. Can you explain it to me? Don't be smartass. It doesn't suit you. Decide not respond to that. Will from HR told Ryan and you everything. About Stephen and Warren. Will told Ryan everything. And Ryan told you. You can't deny it. You can't hide it. So who is this guy Warren? How come you never mentioned him to me? Lucas, you're trying to be cute again. You know perfectly well who Warren is. You also knew Stephen and Warren. We're going on trip to Jamaica with Megan and me. Everything she said was accurate. So saw no reason argue with her. Neither one of you made attempt to stop us from going on that trip. You both knew we were going to Tropical Island with 2 men, and you did nothing to halt it? What kind of husbands react that way? Things getting humorous now. Hannah carefully shifting blame for affair from cheating wives to indifferent husbands. She notices me smiling. Her tone immediately changes. It's not funny, asshole. 2 good men are dead now because of you. You could have said something. You could have stopped it. But no, you had to go have them killed. You didn't do it yourself. But we know damn well you arranged it. Did you report this? What do you mean? When did you realize they had been killed? Who did you notify? No one. We couldn't tell anybody. If we had, then you and Ryan would have discovered what we had done. We couldn't take chance. So you left Jamaica without informing authorities that 2 men who were with you had been killed? I think somebody is going to be pissed. Both women just sat and stared at me, still smiling. So my loving wife, what are you going to do now? We're going to police station and report it. It has to be done. And pray tell me, just how are local police going to handle murder that happened in Jamaica? By the way, do they have bodies or murder weapons? There are no bodies. You were too clever for that, weren't you? I don't know what I ever did to deserve this, Hannah. But you go to police. Tell them whole thing. Make sure report shows exactly why. 4 of you went to Jamaica. And what you were intending to do there. I'll need that information for divorce action. Asshole! Megan takes advantage of my comment to chime in. Ryan had me served with papers last night. You knew that, didn't you? You were laughing to yourself. All way home from airport. Weren't you? Yeah, he did mention something like that. Before he left, watch as Megan storms out of room. Can't tell if she's crying or just really pissed off. Stand up and walk towards door. Lucas, I'm sorry. It wasn't supposed to turn out this way. Hannah's voice had softened. How was it supposed to turn out? Wait, few moments. Get no answer. Hannah, can you at least give me some sort of explanation as to why you did this? Wait few moments while she gets thoughts together. Kids were grown, and you were working all time. My life had become drab and uninteresting. Megan had same problem, and she said she solved it by making few male friends outside house. Few male friends? Don't interrupt, Lucas, or I won't be able to get through this. Decide it was worth chance. So had her fix me up with Warren. So was it worth it? Watch her squirm little before answering. Actually, Lucas, yes, it was worth it. It was fun and exciting. I can't lie to you. I enjoyed it. Every minute up until I met Warren, you were only guy I'd ever been with. Would never consider leaving you to be with him. But I always had good time when 2 of us were together. So I was just big joke? It wasn't like that, Lucas. I was not trying to replace you or make fun of you. I was just attempting make my life a little more interesting. Really didn't need here anymore. Turn and walk outdoor. Go to Wendy's for lunch just before next day. When Detective Kevin Hayes comes to see me, allows me drive own car to station. Think he did that, so wouldn't have to drag me back. Does not seem too concerned about me showing up. We talk for 3 hours. Finally call Glenn Palmer. Gets everything settled so I can leave. Also gets copies of Hannah's statement about alleged murder. Her certified comments about reason for trip. Going be enough for divorce papers. Detective Hayes seems baffled. Says have to contact Ocho Rios police and Jamaican authorities before can arrive at any course of action. Totally ignorant about terms. Used describe different levels of killing someone and what proof required for each. He's trying to explain it to me, but I block it out. Late that night, another call from Adrian Blake. Tomorrow, Mr. Bennett. Tomorrow will be glorious day. Tomorrow came. Nothing happened until about 2 p.m. when get call from Detective Hayes, sort of laughing as he talks, which I find unnerving. Mr. Bennett, watch 5 o'clock local news this evening and 6 o'clock national news. Think you'll find it interesting. It was short news blurb, but like Detective Hayes said, interesting. 2 local men found wandering down dirt road in hills, about 60 miles south of Ocho Rios, Jamaica. Men claimed they'd been kidnapped, held for ransom at goat farm in mountains, managed to escape early morning. make their way toward town, where they were rescued. National news basically same, except had pictures of two men, mentioned their names. Short while later, another call from Detective Hayes asked me come in next morning so we could discuss circumstances surrounding incident. Thought that was mighty generous of him. Mom thought whole thing hilarious. Think she even winked at me. Slept well that night as went into Detective Hayes' office, see Hannah and Megan being escorted into same interrogation room. I'd previously been in. Sure, they were going to have a lot of fun. Rest of day. Mr. Bennett, I'm not sure you're completely innocent concerning this affair, but I see your involvement from far different perspective now. He's actually smiling when says that. Can't help but return expression. As I said before, I'm completely innocent of anything to do with disappearance of those two men. Thought he was going to burst out laughing. Instead offers me cup of coffee. Appears, Mr. Bennett, that Mr. Ward and Mr. Nash made midnight excursion from their vacation compound to purchase little local weed, ganja by name. 5 minutes after they left hotel, they were kidnapped, tied up and taken on hours drive over rough mountain roads. This is all their version. You understand? Sip hot coffee. That one uniformed officer's brought into office. Smile with little nod. Both men were stripped of all their clothing and locked in goat pen. Goat pen that just happened to have bars on doors and windows. Next morning, they were informed that ransom demand for $10,000 US each had been delivered to ladies that had accompanied them to hotel. They would not be released until ransom had been paid. Detective Hayes stopped for a moment, tasted some machine coffee. It sucked, but he seemed used to it. Detective Hayes, I don't believe my wife or my sister-in-law had access to that kind of money. Apparently not. Following day, Mr. Ward and Mr. Nash were told ransom demand had been dropped to $5,000 each, and this was presented to both Mrs. Bennett's. Coffee actually tasting little better by this time. Next day, price was $1,000 each, and on day that ladies departed to come home, price had been dropped to $1,000 for both men. I can only assume ransom was never paid. Oh, it gets better than that. Mr. Bennett, much better. He motions to silently inquire if I wanted more coffee, but I declined. That night, men conveniently overheard their captors talking. Since ransom had not been paid, kidnappers decided they were going to have to kill both of them. In morning, luckily they discovered one of windows in hut was unlocked. Found it hard to control myself at that point. My host having same difficulty. We managed to keep it down to muffled snickers. In heroic effort, they broke free from their confinement and made mad dash for freedom down mountain with no shoes and no clothes. Swear if hadn't been such serious situation, both of us would have burst out laughing. Take moment to contain ourselves. Then he starts up again. Mr. Bennett, neither your wife nor your sister-in-law ever got ransom demand. Now isn't that amazing? Is that question or comment? Now both actually laughing, but very quietly, so as not attract attention. Seriously though, Mr. Bennett, I'm sure you had some input into this entire fiasco. However, I don't see any reason for us to pursue anything at this end. Well, that's good news. Can I consider this case closed? Or should I be prepared for something popping up in future? It's closed as far as I'm concerned. Your wife and sister-in-law, however, have few more questions to answer about charges they made against you. And your brother, our legal people are reviewing their statements pretty closely, just in case. Hannah and Megan still in interrogation room. As I left building, my wife saw me as walked by. Tried make some sort of gesture, pretended didn't see her. Kept walking. Front page story in local newspaper. Both Hannah and Megan mentioned by name. Sure, they'll be getting a lot of questions about that from friends and relatives. Stop at Taco Bell for lunch. On way home, that evening get another call from Adrian. How are things at your end, Mr. Bennett? Couldn't be better, my friend. I'm very impressed. Thank you. I always do my best, Mr. Bennett. Few days ago, I mentioned possibility of position here. That might suit you. Do you think might be interested? Would be interested in discussing it? Fine. There will be ticket waiting for you at Jamaica Airlines counter tomorrow morning. Don't worry. It will be round-trip ticket. Adrian laughing on other end. Wicked little laugh. 6 weeks later, completely relocated to Kingston, Jamaica. Appears Adrian Blake had many friends who had a lot of money needed investing. They bought all-inclusive resort facility that had come upon hard times. Since 90% of clientele were from either North America or Europe, they wanted man of my stature to be responsible person of authority. Yes, I sold out. Now in position of posing as front or shill, so to speak, although required to actually set up and manage facility. still reported to clandestine group, who wished to avoid any and all publicity, was well paid and well compensated. It was interesting position. Had lady working with me named Nina, who was wanted by Finnish authorities for murder of her philandering husband. As long as she stayed in Jamaica, she was safe. She was in charge of recreation events and advertising. Most other employees were local, who for some reason seemed to have excellent work ethics. Many of them, I discovered, were hired by Adrian Blake. Interesting. 3 different restaurants and facility, prominent menu item at each. Was goat in some fashion. Hannah and Megan had been convicted of something somehow related to incident. Both received suspended sentences. Never even found out what exact charges were. Hear that, Stephen Ward and Warren Nash both accused Hannah and Megan of refusing pay their ransom. They never believed story, that no ransom demands were ever made. Think those relationships died rather fast. 5 months after relocating, my divorce was finalized. Time passes rapidly when having fun. 2 years have gone by. Clara doing great at Stanford. Peter now at Texas A&M. On full scholarship, Hannah keeps in touch with them 3 or 4 times a month by cell phone. Megan tracked Ryan down in Arkansas, had him served with papers to get custody of twins. Week later, Ryan and boys were in Montana. Nina and I moved in together. There's odd excitement about sleeping with woman who murdered her husband, sort of like bungee jumping. Had no further contact with Hannah until last week. Mr. Bennett, I have good news and bad news. Adrian turned into Big Joker. Always have be on my toes. Give me bad news first. Silver Star cruise ship arrived this morning, and your wife is on board. With gentleman friend, chill went up my spine. What's good news? Big grin came across his face. Big enough show demonic gold tooth. Jamaican authorities had her name on special list. Since we now using passports for all Caribbean travel, was easy to flag her arrival. And what exactly does this mean? Former Mrs. Bennett has been detained. Charges are presently being prepared. It seems her failure to report kidnapping 3 years ago has been considered criminal offense of some type. A lot of local officials were embarrassed by whole situation. They seem more than eager to get little payback. Damn Adrian, she didn't really do anything. I know that and you know that, but doesn't make it go away. What is her travel companion doing to help? Nothing. When police explained what happened, he couldn't get back on ship fast enough. Think he's planning on flying home. Hannah ended up in Kingston, charged with several minor offenses. No suspended sentences here. Some low-level U.S. Embassy people tried to intervene, but was to no avail. She was sent to Port Royal Prison for 1 year. Wasn't fair, but seemed be out of my hands. Was 3 months until got up courage to go see her. Adrian had arranged visit beforehand. Lucas, what are you doing here? It's so good to see you. How did you find out about this? She looked a little thinner and gaunt. Perhaps lack of makeup and grooming. Hannah, I live here now. On north side of island. I've known about your problem for a while now. What? Why didn't you do something? You must know somebody here that can help me. What would you want me to do? Get me out of here, please. You can't imagine what this is like. Looked at her without speaking. Actually didn't know what to say. Lucas, guards are forcing me to provide favors for them. Favors? Sexual favors, Lucas. I am being forced, of course, to provide male guards with sexual favors. Do I have to be more explicit? No, I think I understand. I'll see what I can do. Spent next 30 minutes talking about kids and what they were doing. When left, promised her again. Would see if could help her. No, it doesn't all make sense. Should really be happy. See that witch being tortured. But she was my wife for 20 years. And she was mother of my children. Explained problem to Adrian. He seemed little confused at my concern for Hannah's well-being, but promised take care of things. As if by magic, Hannah became off limits to guards, and there would be no repercussions. Never verified this, but had Adrian's word, and that was good enough. Processes were started to change her sentence to time served. 2 months later, drove down to Kingston. On day she was being released and scheduled to go home. As usual, some low-level embassy personnel taking credit for getting sentence commuted, but I knew better. Didn't get to talk to her. But we saw each other from afar. She was smiling, sort of, and wearing powder blue maternity dress. As she walked across tarmac, never saw her again. Never intend to as well.